Hello, this is the Wikstrand. We haven't talked that much about religious themed movies at this show that much. Personally, I don't have any problems with inserting some religious themes into my suspenseful movies or something like that, or if they have something thought-provoking to give us or something life-affirming. Sometimes they can give us movies like The Body. So in Jerusalem, an archaeologist finds a body of a crucified man. The body is dated back to the time of Jesus' life, and he has been crucified, and he bears marks on his body that resembles a crown of thorn. Could this in fact be the actual body of Jesus Christ that has been found? Now there's rumbles in the Vatican. They are a bit scared of these findings and what it could possibly do to faith of millions of Christians all over the world. So one priest, played by Antonio Banderas, gets the ungrateful task of going down there and try to see if he can figure out if this is the body of Christ or not. So he arrives at Jerusalem, which we all know is a place where everybody is friendly with everybody and there is never anything happening. Oh no, wait, it's the opposite. So there is a lot of people who seems to want to use this for their own purposes, and he also comes in conflict with the archaeologist. So Antonio Banderas has some heated discussions with Sharon, the archaeologist, who is single, by the way. This premise could really have worked itself into a great movie, filled with suspense, filled with interesting discussions, filled with feelings, what is faith, and all of these things. However, I don't know if they had too little money or too little talent behind the camera, because I am sure that the book it's based on is better, because otherwise it should never have been published, because it is clearly bad. This movie severely lacks suspense. When they try to insert some suspense with some action sequences and stuff like that, it looks shit. The production value is terrible, and apart from Antonio Banderas, there isn't that many interesting characters, and there is a twist lurking in this one, but I can never spot twists. Never. I am terrible at this. I could see this a mile away. This movie has a great deal of made-for-TV feel to it. It had a pretty okay budget. They could have done more with it, but maybe they were too afraid of the controversial subject, or they just didn't have that much of a vision to begin with. But there's not a lot happening in this movie, despite the fact that you have possibly the body of Christ at your hand. It is just a lot of flashlights in dusty tombs, some religious fanatics, some very sneaky cardinals from the Vatican's, and we have then the limp ending. Oh yes, the limp ending, we have to talk about that one. This ending is so limp, it basically crawls out of a broken leg factory. Holy Christ, this is a bad ending. Not only is the confrontation between Antonio Banderas and Mr. Big Ears is an underwhelming and very predictable sequence, it is also boring as hell. It's difficult to see who this movie actually was made for, because people who are religious will probably just shy away from it, saying that this is some sort of just Hollywood paganism at its worst. Atheists will not really find anything, just, finding corruption within the church that they already know about. There is not a lot for people who like romantic movies, because there is not any romance in this movie. If you like action, the action sequences are terrible and are pretty underwhelmingly shot. The entire third act, by the way, is some of the most cliched and slapped on suspense I have seen in quite a while. I guess this is the case of too many compromises that has made a bland product, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people like this movie. I sure as hell didn't. It is not the worst I've seen, but this movie came out shortly after the whole Da Vinci Code hype that came out. I don't know why it didn't perform better or it became more of a hit than it became. Because this movie is extremely forgotten today and did have a very, very small run at the box office. Also the budget. I guess most of the money went straight down into Antonio Banderas' pockets, and fair enough, he is the best thing in this movie, but he cannot salvage the whole thing. Derek Jacobi is of course okay as in one of his last roles, but apart from that, forget about it. This is not the worst thing I've ever seen. I mean, there is interesting things sprinkled throughout the entire movie, but not enough to make me care. So, sorry. Yeah, let's be nice today. Let's give it 33. It is, fascinating, even if it is very, very lackluster. And Antonio Banderas is extremely great. So that was The Body. What are we going to review next? I have no idea. You have to stay tuned to find out. The random reviewing goes on because the Wikstrand is signing out.